Hey guys, it's KevyDog4, and I'm here with my NBA Finals prediction video. So, for the finals, it's going to be Cleveland versus Golden State. I'm just going to give you some keys to each team's success in this series, and who I think is going to win this series, and I'll try and keep it as short as I can. So I think that Cleveland's going to win this series in 7 games, just like I predicted in my bracket. I had them in 7 over San Antonio originally, and then when they were eliminated, I changed my thought to Oklahoma City in 7, and now I have Golden State in 7. So I think Cleveland's going to win it in 7 because last year they lost the series in 6 games because they were missing Kevin Love to an injury, Kyrie Irving to an injury, Anderson Varejao to an injury, and at the beginning of the season, all 3 of them were starters. So they played without those 3 guys in the finals last year. And Cleveland also has 5 days of rest compared to 2 for Golden State. And Golden State just came off a 7-game series, so they're probably a little bit maybe tired, banged up from that series. And Cleveland's had some time to recuperate and kind of settle down. So I think the keys for Golden State are they need to jump out to an early lead versus the Cavs, because the Cavs against Toronto, when they were down early, they seemed to kind of panic, be flustered, never really got into their groove. Curry and Thompson, their shooting, that is a big key. The team heavily relies on their shooting success. So as long as they're doing well, the team is probably going to do fairly well. They need a presence at center. When Andrew Bogut had 15 points and 14 rebounds in Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals, his presence pushed the team to the victory. Draymond Green is very key. When he struggles, the whole team seems to struggle. Like in Game 3, he was 1 for 9 in shooting, and they lost 133 to 105. And in Game 4, he shot 1 for 7, and Golden State lost 118 to 94. I know there were other factors in there, but one of the big things I noticed was Draymond Green was not sharp, and that was right after the controversy with his kick to Steven Adams. So he needs to keep his focus, and he needs to play a good game. That's a very key thing. And things they need to do on defense, they need to stop Kevin Love. In Game 3 against the Toronto Raptors of the Eastern Conference Finals, Kevin Love shot 1 for 9, and Cleveland lost 99 to 84. And in Game 4, he shot 4 for 14, and they lost 105 to 99. 103 to 99? Handwriting's bad, guys. I think it's 105 to 99. Ball movement is key. They can't let the defense close in on them, and they need to tire out the defense, because the more they move the ball, the guys are going to be running around all over the place. And when you got players like Matthew Dellavedova who play very tight defense and they're running all over the place, you got to be able to tire those guys out so they can't play the same defense on you. You can be able to make some more space to get your shots. So the keys for Cleveland: Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving need to produce, both of them. Cleveland is best, I have found, when LeBron leads in assists, Kyrie leads in points, and Kevin leads in rebounds. And the bench is very important for Cleveland, especially key players like Matthew Dellavedova, who defended Steph Curry last year in the finals, and he was excellent, especially in Games 2 and 3, and he limited Curry to his shooting, and they won both of those games. So the bench needs to produce. Delly, Shumpert, Mozgov needs to produce if he gets put in. He's not as much of a part of the rotation as he was last year, but they need a big presence at center for sure. J.R. Smith, his shooting last year, from what I can remember in the finals, his shooting kind of cooled off in the finals. He didn't shoot very well. So he needs to be able to shoot, because He when he's on, he's on, but when he's off, he's really off. So he needs to be able to produce as a shooter. They need to switch up their defense, I think. They usually play a zone. A lot of people play a zone against the Warriors, and that causes them to have to do lots of running around the perimeter. It leaves the guards open. That's how Curry and Thompson get a lot of their shots. So they need to play some man defense, not every game, because they'll figure it out, the Warriors will. But within a couple games of the start of the series, they need to play a man defense game or two in a row, see if they can shut down the Warriors' offense, and then they need to switch it back. They need to keep them guessing. And yeah, the zone's going to leave Curry and Thompson open to shoot, and we don't want them to shoot if we're on the Cavs. So rebounding is also very important, because the more rebounds Golden State gets, the more chances that Curry and Thompson get to shoot. So basically, they need to limit Curry and Thompson's shooting, and rebounds are going to limit the amount of times they can touch the ball. So, and my next note, keep the ball away from Curry and Thompson. I mean, that's their biggest key, Curry and Thompson. They got to shut them down. The other guys don't have as high a field goal percentage as Curry and Thompson do, especially from that range. So it's all right if other guys are making shots, because they're not going to hit as many shots as Curry and Thompson are. You just got to keep the ball out of their hands. And a big thing is they need to adjust their lineup to fit the Golden State lineup. I noticed in the Eastern Conference Finals, I watched a lot of those games. They started Tristan Thompson against Bismack Biyombo every game. Sometimes it's good to switch up your starters, because when you have a matchup where Tristan Thompson, he's not a particularly large center, and Bismack Biyombo is a heavily built guy, I would have started Timothy Mozgov against him to get a big body in there to keep him from getting all those rebounds, because they got out-rebounded terribly, and especially Game 3, and the game was completely lopsided. So they need to switch their lineup to fit whoever's in for Golden State. I have some notes on who should be guarding, like, the 5 starters, especially. With the other guys, I think it's just kind of a rotation on who's in what spot. They're okay, but for the 5 starters, they got to have some specific guys on them if they're playing man defense especially. So to guard Klay Thompson, I think that Iman Shumpert, Kyrie Irving, and J.R. Smith as guards should be on Klay Thompson. Steph Curry, J.R. Smith, Kyrie Irving, yes, they're both starters. Either of them could guard them. Matthew Dellavedova, because he proved himself last year, but not against Klay Thompson, because when he guarded Klay Thompson, he was able to just shoot right over him. So that was a bit of a mismatch. But and Iman Shumpert as well. So any of the guards could take Curry. Most of the guards could take Thompson. For the small forward, Andre Iguodala, Channing Frye, Kevin Love, Richard Jefferson, any of those guys I think would be a good matchup for Andre Iguodala. And against Draymond Green, I think primarily it needs to be LeBron James. If there's different lineups in, like if Timothy Mozgov is in, Tristan Thompson could take Draymond Green or Kevin Love even. And for centers, Andrew Bogut, he's a big guy. I think that primarily that should be Timothy Mozgov, but if they don't decide to play him, because they usually stick with their small ball lineup, then it should be Tristan Thompson for sure. And for the centers, like who should be guarding, like between the centers, Mozgov and Thompson, I think if Mozgov is in, I think he should be in when Bogut's in, or Spates, when either of those two guys are in. I think Mozgov should be the center. And when Varejao or Green is in for Golden State, Thompson should be the center, and either of those guys could take Ezeli as center, in my opinion. So I'm just going to give a quick, before the series starts, prediction on what I think is going to happen and why I think currently it's going to go 7 games. This is going to be separate from my predictions that I am going to have before each game, because, of course, the series may not go 7 games. Things may go different than what I predicted, and I'm sure my predictions and ideas are going to change as this series evolves. So this is what I think is going to happen right now. Game 1, I think, is going to go to Golden State because, yeah, they have home court advantage. The crowd is going to be loud. They're going to be excited. They just came off a big Game 7 victory. Game 2, I think Cleveland's going to make the adjustments, and they're going to take the second game. And then they're going to be going back to Cleveland for Game 3, and it's going to be their first game at home, so I think that they're going to win the Game 3 as well, and that's exactly what happened last year. Golden State won the first one, I believe. It was 2-1 after the first 3 games. I think it's going to end up being a 2-1 thing again. So, Game 4, they're going to still be in Cleveland, but I think Golden State's going to get the next win because they will have lost 2 in a row, and they're going to be hungry for a win because, yeah, they're down 2-1. They lose another one, they're going to be in the same situation they were in against Oklahoma City. They can't lose a game if they're down 3-1, so I think they're going to even the series up. Then they're going to go back to Golden State, and I think Cleveland's going to win Game 5 because, yeah, it's a tight series, and they know they have to win a game on the road, so they're going to have the mentality that they got to get this win or they're going to be in a lot of trouble. So then that would make it a 3-2 series. They're going to go back to Cleveland for Game 6, and then I think Golden State's going to win that game because 3-2, they got to win or they're going to lose the title. Cleveland's going to get the championship. So then they're going to have to fly back to Golden State. I think that Cleveland's going to have so much fight in them. They're going to know, oh, Golden State, we're back in Oracle Arena. It's loud here. This is our chance. And they're going to be hungry after what happened last year. They lost last year to Golden State. They're going to want it so bad. And I think that Cleveland is going to come out on top of Game 7. And they're going to win the title. So that's what I think's going to happen in the NBA Finals this year. Thanks for watching. Leave me your predictions down in the comments. I want to see what all you guys think. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Go back and watch any of the videos that I have that you may have missed. Even if they're really far back, you can just go and refresh over what happened in this year's playoffs. Make sure you also subscribe to my channel so you can have all my videos for the finals. And I will see you in my Game 1 prediction video tomorrow.